Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Limitless show. Once again on this Wednesday evening, how are you doing? And I want to share with you today we have a tremendous personality on the show who is not only a professionally certified leadership and transformation coach, she's also a trainer and motivational speaker, and she has a lot of awards to her credit. She is the founder of Ignite the Spark, and she has a lot of amazing transformational courses that she uses to coach people to transform from inside out. So let's bring on, with a round of applause, Alpa Kapadia Teli. Hey Alpa, thank you so
Hi.
much for joining me here. Hello.
Hi, Anshu. I'm so happy to be here with you.
Same here. All excited to have you on, Alpa. So it's been the tradition of the show that you always start with us your story, so that people know, what you have been through, how you have come where you are, and why you do what you do.
Absolutely. I'm one of those few lucky people, Anshu, who actually follows her life purpose for a living. So I was heading learning and development, leadership development for Godrej, and I was always in HR. So I was always in the field of personal transformation. But when I was working in the corporate world, I realized that I was a part of the assessment of the problem. So we were doing talent assessment and understanding the competency gaps, but the solution was not so well dealt with. And I really felt a little bit like a misfit because I felt that people in the corporate world don't really bring their whole selves to work. They bring a very fragmented part of themselves to work. And when you bring a fragmented part of yourself to work, your capacity, your productivity, your efficiency, all are compromised.
Absolutely.
So when I took a break for my kids, I did not feel uh, it was fair to leave my kids to go back to a job where I was not really adding to the solution.
Right.
So, and I also, of course, wanted more flexibility in my time, and coaching just happened to be. So I was also going through, a lot of postpartum blues, and I realized I was just not cut out to be a stay-at-home mother. So I
Right.
tried it that I know I'm going to be home for my kids, but I just couldn't do it. I was miserable. So I had to find a way to balance that out and also fulfill my life purpose. And coaching just happened to me. It was literally a calling. It just fell into my lap. And the minute I started that, I knew I was home. So I've always been a spiritual person. I'm a part of the art of living and emotional intelligence. I've always been in that space. But when I got to coaching, I think it really got the intellect, the emotion, the soul all together. So
Hmm. I think Alpa is frozen. Just give a few seconds, guys. She does not have a good network at her place. She'll be back with us. Just give it a few seconds. Hang on, people. She has certain network issues. Finally, technology is technology. It cannot be helped. She's coming back on. Just give it a few seconds. Hey, you're muted, Alpa. You're muted. Can't hear you. Unmute yourself.
are we good to go? Are we online,
Yes.
Ajay?
Yes, 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 yes. We are
Great.
on. We are on.
So I was saying that, coaching just happened, and I realized that finally I had a chance to be a part of the solution. And as I started doing it, because I was adding a spiritual element to it, I saw such deep transformation happening. And it was not only a professional journey, I'm sure even personally. At that time, it was a pretty dark phase in my life. And I was living in victim consciousness for quite a while. And slowly, as I got coached and I changed my inner world, the same people in the outer world changed. And firsthand, I got the experience of an inside out transformation. And then
Right.
I realized that you are the creator of your reality. It's no
Yes.
good just blaming the system or blaming the culture of the company or blaming different people or situation
Right.
or things in your life. It's really about
Right.
the energy that you are bringing to your life. So that's when
Absolutely.
I started doing inside out transformation. I explored many other modalities in the process. And I think as I got happier, I also became a better mother because I was not a very good mother when I was unhappy. So I keep telling women that do what you are meant to do as well. It's a
Yes.
disservice to your children. If you are giving up on your dreams, it's a disservice to your children.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How can you ask them to follow their dreams if you yourself haven't been able to follow yours?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we need to be
yeah.
their role models.
Absolutely. Well said.
Right. So, Alpa, through your coaching, you also work on mind, body, and spirit, a holistic way of, basically helping people. But
Yeah,
what I want to ask you is when you do that, first of all, how do you do it? And second is, don't you get resistance from people? Because most of this world, people don't operate from their heart. People
yeah,
operate more from their logical mind, and I'd see a lot
yeah,
of resistance in
yeah,
people.
yeah.
So what do you
That
do?
that's such a good question, Anshu, because when I had to go back to coaching, I had so much experience in HR and I knew so many HR heads and so many company heads, all of that. It was a very easy path for me to follow the corporate route of coaching. But the very first few assignments I did, I realized that in the corporate world, when a company is sponsoring for your coaching, and an executive is not willing to go deep. They are scared that what they share in the coaching container might be opened up and they take it as a professional pursuit, so they don't open up
Yes,
their personal life.
correct,
So, very early in my career, I made a very conscious decision to not go completely on that path. Like, I would not pitch to corporates. If an assignment came and the company had a value match, I would do it, but I would not pitch. So, I kind of built my business around executives, professional leaders, and coaches who wanted to invest in themselves. When you are paying a good amount for coaching, the readiness with which you come in to transform is completely different. So
right,
I realized I love that kind of work when people were willing to go deep because I had gone deep myself. I was not scared to go deep. It's like you
right.
can't take a client where you've never been. So I
Yes,
was so happy to take them as deep as they were willing to go. So the what I have done is I have ensured that I, as far as possible, work with people who are investing in themselves because
right.
then they are ready to go the distance. They are ready to take the scary steps to change their lives.
Yes,
And they're not stuck in that matrix of the way things should be. In the
yes,
linear corporate world. So very consciously, I've taken that decision, even though it's a much more difficult business to set up, but it was more joyous for me. It was much more satisfying for me. So that's the path I chose to go.
amazing. So, we use the word transformation a lot nowadays, which was not
Yeah,
the case, I would say, 5 years back. So, what
yeah,
exactly is transformation to you when you say you were transformed in inner, world to the outer world? What kind
yeah,
of things changed for you? How did you, first of all, change, and how did that change your reality, your environment, everything?
yeah. So, all of us, when we are in our youth, we start out with a lot of gusto, stars in our eyes, a desire to change the world. Somewhere along the way, life hits us. That's what we more popularly call the midlife crisis these days. And you start questioning your life that where am I really headed? Am I really happy doing what I'm doing? Not
Right.
everybody gets that call, but many people do get it.
Right.
It's at that time you start becoming a participant in your life. Otherwise we are just reacting to situations. So either we are resisting a situation or reacting to it, or we are agreeing with someone and aligning to them. But beyond that, there is no aspect of creation of your own world.
Right.
Human beings are meant to create their reality, but we are so busy in this ping
Absolutely.
pong, like resist, react,
Right.
agree, align, resist, react, agree, align. There's no creation angle. So for
Yes.
me, transformation is when you really move from reaction to creation. Now, if you see react and create, they have similar words. So the same energy that you use in reaction, you can also use for creation.
Creation. Beautifully
And
said.
energy cannot be created or destroyed, it can only change form. So,
Yes.
what I work with my clients mostly is taking the energy that they are spending in their reactions, doing shadow work with them, getting them to free up that energy so that can be channelized into creation, so that that energy is available for them to create in their lives. So, that really is the
Amazing.
transformation I do going from reaction to creation.
Right. So, as you just mentioned, you do the shadow work. So, I know that you have a course called Shadow Mastery. So, would you tell us? I mean, first of all, the name is very kind of tempting for me because, it says Shadow Mastery and not Light Mastery. So,
Yeah.
why do you want to master the shadow and not the light?
I realized in India, we're a very spiritual nation like that, Anshu. And I'm a part of the art of living as well. So I
Yes.
know that, in India, we are very tempted to say, be positive, be good, everything will be okay. But no one really teaches you what to do when you get jealousy, anger, lust, one-upmanship, blame game. What do you do when that happens to you? Or you
Right.
get depression or anxiety. You can't just stuff it under the carpet.
Yes.
So everything that we stuff under the carpet is shadow. And what happens is this shadow festers and it creates pus and dirt. So
Right.
basically, in our effort to go forward, it is these shadows which hold us back because we have not bothered to address it. We have spiritually bypassed. So we have said,
Right.
okay, I'm just going to be positive. I'm a meditator. And I had seen that happen way too many times. So I
Right.
realized that it's high time that we woke up and we said, hey, we have some repeating patterns in our life and they are not chance. So, shadow mastery really goes down to the root of the repeating pattern. So, if you're constantly being misunderstood, say, or you're constantly feeling as if life is unfair to you, it's not chance, Anshu. It's actually a systematic process of thoughts, decisions that you have made, which has created that reality for you. So, unless you go down to the root to understand what are your thoughts, beliefs, attitudes, and illusions which are making you create that reality again and again, it's a never ending matrix. You'll never get out of it.
Yes.
So, shadow mastery really is about diving in, facing those shadows, and saying, listen, it's not somebody else's fault. Somewhere in my life. So, for example, when I got married, I kind of bought into the societal conditioning of, what women should be and should not be. It was my responsibility. It was not somebody else's responsibility to make me feel empowered. But because I
Right.
had seen that in my mother and aunts, I subconsciously I adopted that pattern. Now I lived that pattern for 10 years until I realized, what am I doing? This is a pattern I am living. No one is asking me to live like this, but I have adopted this pattern. So at that point, I started setting boundaries. I started saying what I feel, even though it was scary, after so many years. But it was possible. And when I set my boundaries, I realized nobody reacted badly. People expected it. You have to speak up for yourself. You have to negotiate in your own life. You have to participate in your own life. And if
Yes.
you don't do it and victimize yourself, you're not unlucky. I think you're just foolish.
You're just foolish. Absolutely.
So I was foolish for a long time, and I realized that I did a lot of modalities. So I started off with art of living and meditation. I had done Brahmakumari, Vipassana, name it, and I had done that spiritual course. I was so
Okay.
spiritually inclined. In spite of all of that, Anshu, I'll share this with you today. I reached a point where I walked out of my house one day to go to the main road, and I had to come back because I felt something like what was a panic attack. Now, this whole thought of me facing something like this was so unacceptable to me. And, I wanted to be so much in denial at that point that how can someone like me who has spent so many years in this field go through this? And I think somewhere it's at that point I decided that no more, I'm not going down this path. So now onwards, I'm going to be at cause in my life. Even if I have to die in the process of setting my boundaries and being myself, I'm going to do it. And it was that catalyst, that trigger, which kept me going every single day as I reset boundaries, pushed the envelope a little bit more, started becoming who I was. I had lost myself. A lot of people, if you see in the mirror, you don't see a spark because
Yeah.
they've lost themselves. They don't recognize themselves. They used to be really ambitious and jovial at one point, but today
Yes.
when they see themselves in the mirror, it's just dullness. They're going through the motions, but they're not really
Yes.
living life. And I think I got to that point and I came back from that point and I've come back so much stronger. And now, as I did that, many other people found me who needed that. And
Right.
then shadow mastery was one of the things which really helped me understand the deep patterns. It created magical results in my life. I had no intention of teaching it. Evie, I was doing a webinar once and I mentioned that, I've been doing I do shadow mastery as part of my transformation. And there was a batch of 10 ready to take the course. And that was about 3 years ago. And now we've done like, 8, 10 batches and it just grows and gets better every year. So I think people were
Right.
also ready and I was also ready to teach them that because I had used it for 4, 5 years in my own life.
Right.
So it's different, it's tough, it's not for the faint hearted, it's only for those who are willing to face the truth in their life. It's not easy to hear
Yes.
the truth, Anshu. We are so used to sugarcoating and being
Yes.
really nice about things. Shadow mastery is not like that. It's really breaking you open, showing you the mirror, and you're saying, oh, I created this rubbish. And if I can create so much rubbish, I must be a really good creator. So why don't I use that energy to actually create a magnificent life for myself?
Absolutely. The destiny which I deserve, actually.
Yes, absolutely. So
So
it's been
you
a life
have, I
work.
mean,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, you said you were spiritually inclined
yeah,
and you have done from Brahma Kumaris to like Art of
yeah.
Living, Vipassana.
Yeah.
What, I mean, probably, I'm not sure what the question should be. What I'm trying to understand is, did you understand what were you able to connect more deeply with? What form of maybe meditation or what was more
Yeah.
connective with you?
I think because of that early experience of spirituality, what I understood very early is that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. So this
Yes.
attachment to the body, material, all this didn't happen for me at all. It just didn't happen because very early in life, in my formative years, I realized finally it's a game of spirituality. It's about what your spirit does on this planet. It's not really about what your body does. So I
Right.
think that's something I picked up very well. And I didn't just just did the other courses, but Art of Living, I went really deep. So I heard the Ashtavakra Gita, the Patanjali Yoga Sutras multiple times, and I really absorbed all that knowledge. Tabhi to kuch kaam nahi aaya, Anshu. After I got married and started facing challenges, all of that started coming to me at the right time. And I realized that there is a lot of wisdom in our Veds as well. But most people, I believe, don't go deep into spirituality. They take it from the surface. And the surface is all very, superficial. But they don't
Right.
go down to the core. So if you really go down to the core of the Vedas, they talk about the Vikrutis and the shadows that you face, but not many people bother to go there. So I think
Yes.
that understanding really, like in my shadow mastery course, now I also use yoga and affirmations and the chakras to help people step into light better. Because it's not just a mind game, right? So if you understand that, okay, say the prostitute energy is about the heart chakra, Your heart chakra
Yes.
is closed up because you are scared that people don't like you. Now,
Yes.
if you are physically doing some asanas to open up the heart chakra, it helps you in your shadow mastery. So I think that's the way I've got everything together, where it's not just this is right or that is right, but really bringing it together in a holistic way, where you are understanding from the intellect, feeling from the heart, and adopting from the soul and implementing in the body to really create that transformation. So, I mean, I'm not stuck as a coach to just do the model I learned,
Right.
right? Like the fulfillment coaching model. Whatever it takes for you as a personality to get the transformation, we'll do that.
Right.
So I think that's really
Absolutely.
what helped me. The spiritual background really helped me with that. Understanding that all of this, which I'm seeing at the top, is just superficial.
Right. So that also brings me to another question, that you also were a facilitator in Art of Living, if I'm not wrong. I mean,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
used to so you have done that, and even when people go that path, when I
Yeah.
personally say walk on that path, I expect some kind of a transformation to happen in my life,
Yeah.
because coaching is not something which is very relevant in India even today. It's not something which people know about. When I tell people I'm a life coach,
Mhm.
they are like, you are what? Life coach
Yeah.
is not something which each and everyone knows. We being in the community, we know more about it, but then ordinary,
Yeah.
everyone does not. So we generally, I mean, when we are troubled, we try doing a maybe art of living course, or we go for a vipassana, we go for all these modalities,
Yeah.
and we expect some kind of a light bulb to glow,
Yeah.
and something to
Yeah.
happen. So now what has changed from being the facilitator with art of living, because even then people might have joined you or your sessions to get
Yeah.
some kind of a transformation, and even now they join you to get a
Yeah.
transformation as a coach. What has changed?
Yeah. So I think I took a course just in December. I mean I don't end up taking so many courses as I would like to take, but I did take a course in December. I take a couple of courses a year, but I realized that that path is as beautiful. There are different things for different people at different levels. So it's really about meeting them where they are at. And I think for me personally, what Art of Living did is that connection with my guru, which I found. I found a guru when I was 21 in my life. And I was a very intellectual person. I was doing my MBA and I had this thing about what is this puja, and it's so superficial and all of that. But the experience I had with my guru really made me believe that there is a connection. And that experience kind of played the role of an anchor in my life when I was down. Just his presence, the fact that he is there and he will take care of me. And I feel it doesn't matter whom you have faith on, but that faith that I mean, the secret talks about the faith in the universe, that the universe has your back. So that faith has really been my solid anchor. When people were giving way to, say, depression or anxiety and, finding meaning in life, I was so blessed. I'm sure I never felt that. Like, I remember very early in my marriage, my husband asked me, "So, what's your biggest fear?" And I looked at him and I said, "Living a life without purpose. That is my only fear. Actually living that life without a sense of purpose." And, my guru says that the purpose of life is a life of purpose.
Yes, absolutely.
So as long as I'm connecting with my life purpose, it may not entirely be, colored in the art of living way. There's a lot more which I'm doing, and I give back to that, working with art of living teachers, helping them understand the nuances of abundance, money, other shadow patterns, which they don't see. But
Right.
I really believe that this right, wrong, good, bad are all judgments. So
Right.
I know a lot of people whose lives have completely transformed with art of living. It's not
Right.
that challenges go away, but sabka path alag hota hai. So whatever is your calling, follow
Mm-hmm.
that. Whatever
Correct.
experiences you have to have in life, they will come to you. So if I went a certain path, somebody else went a certain path, everybody has their own destiny, their own purpose. So earlier, I don't even think I ever judged it, but I feel to each their own. And without any judgment, I carry that compassion to take people along. to not make somebody right or wrong or good or bad, but just different experiences, enjoying this experience on this planet, and doing whatever you can every single day. Like a lot of my life, I never thought I'll get into parenting. But because I have two children, as a result of the kind of challenges I was facing, I had to go deep into it. I had to understand what was that energy which was not letting me be a easy parent, or which was causing so much stress. So many shadows came up for me there, where I was trying to be somebody else. I had this notion of this is how my kids should be and should behave. All of that also had to break down. Now, not
Right.
many parents get into this, it just remains the way it is. But if it comes into my life, I will face it. I will deal with it, and I will deal with it in a way that at least 100 other people will be benefited by that experience.
Absolutely. I mean, see, when you become a conscious person in life itself, then you do everything consciously. So what you're talking about here is a conscious parenting,
Yeah.
where
Dr. Shefali
I think,
Sabari.
yeah, right.
I love her.
I love her. I love her. I've read this
Yeah.
book and it's so beautiful, actually. So,
Yeah.
but it's all about consciousness in every part of our life, actually.
Absolutely.
Be it as a daughter, be it as a wife, be it as a parent. I think we just need to be very, very conscious in whatever we
Yeah.
do. I think life is all about that.
Yeah. It's really all you can do, I feel.
Yes.
To
Because
just like,
as they say in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that, karma is the only thing you have in your hands. So
yeah,
I think being conscious is your karma. Sorry.
true. Absolutely.
Yeah. Great. Wonderful. So you now also work with women who have
Yes.
kind of taken a or an off kind of a thing because to look after their family, their newborn kids, and then they want to come back. And I know
Yeah.
in India at least that's a big challenge even now, even after I think there were a few people who have taken the it a step further, like jobs for her, and I think a lot of other
Yeah.
but then still, I mean, so what exactly do you do with those women, if they want to come back? How do you guide them?
Yeah. Beautiful. So, when I got back to work, Anshu, I realized it was an uphill task. Like just a woman going back to work is like swimming against the tide.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
when I started working more in this field, I realized there were three aspects to making it
Hmm.
easier for women to come back. One
Hmm.
was to empower the woman itself. Like my guru always says that women don't need to be empowered. They are already empowered.
They are
They don't need
already
to be
empowered.
reminded, like, who are you to empower the woman? The woman's already
Absolutely.
empowered.
Yes.
You have to remind her that she's already empowered. So that's number one. Number two is having processes and systems in place in an organization which helps her to come back in an easier way if she has children, like flexi time, daycare, etc. Third is a sensitization of the society that a woman is coming back. How can you make it easier for her rather than being, you know, misogynistic or sexist about it? How can you really facilitate and be inclusive about it? Now I
Yes.
realize that process changes happen, society changes will happen. The most powerful one is to empower the woman. When you remind a woman of her own power, like she is Lakshmi, she's Saraswati, she's Durga, she has all the powers anyway. It's just about igniting that power in her. And that's where Ignite the Spark was born. Where I realized that, yeah, don't fall for the notions of this is how I should be and this is what I should do. And I have to be at home, I have to serve the food, I have to be there at this time. All this pressure you put on yourself, if you just empower her to have a balance, it's not that you
Yes.
have to become a rebel or don't take care or don't nurture, but having a balance of doing things for yourself and doing things for your family. So I think that's really what I wanted to, and I realized, of course, very early on that not all women want to be empowered. So how much ever I was trying, I realized that there are many people who are just not willing to work on themselves. They are so seeped into the patriarchy, they are so bought into the concept that this seems to be too far fetched a reality for them. And I
Right.
don't blame them. It is tough. So many years of conditioning doesn't go away
Yes.
in a hurry.
Yes.
Then I
Yes.
slowly shifted my focus to working with people who were interested in being changed, who were interested in transformation.
Yes.
So, and I, after that, have met so many women coaches who want to work with women who want to get back to work. But these women are not willing to invest in themselves. So you have to wait until they are ready. I think somewhere you have to share your own story. Like I do this by sharing my story, sharing my vulnerabilities, sharing my challenges, and saying, okay, listen, I felt this too, and I got back. And here's where I am. So that's my way of sharing my story to, inspire you. Maybe when you listen to it, you'll be like, hey, if she can do it, maybe I can do it too, you know.
Yes.
So unless you ignite your own spark, I think beyond a point, nobody can help you.
No
But
one
once your
can help.
spark is ignited, I
Yes.
think the sky is the limit. There's no limit to how much you can grow in that space.
Yes. So true. A lighted up candle can light so many other candles. And,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
that's so true. So,
Now, when I look back, 6 years ago, Ignite the Spark was just an idea. And today
right.
it's a company and it has team members and it has, all the paraphernalia around the company. So it's very fulfilling that if really I can do it, I think every other woman can do it as well.
Can do this. Yes, no doubt. We just need to believe in ourselves. That belief is missing. We doubt ourselves all the time. And of
Yeah.
course, so that also, I mean, since we are talking about this, what is the societal conditioning all about? And, I mean, how do you break? Because I think some people just do not want to break it, as you correctly said. You want to
Yeah.
work with women, you want to help them get out of it, but then they do not want to.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but why don't you share what is the societal conditioning?
Hmm. So very early, women are told, like, be seen, not heard. No need to express your opinion. Like, I remember when I was expressing an opinion about my engagement date, my elder said, shh, don't say anything. We'll take care of it. Or in my wedding fairas, I was told, don't laugh too loudly because I have a very hearty laugh. So it's not good for the bride to laugh very loudly. Now, all those notions are being blown open. Today, when I see weddings, I see brides doing it the way they want and really
Yes,
enjoying it in the process. That was
yes,
not the case earlier.
yes,
So the societal conditioning like that you need, like if you go back to work, they're a selfish man. If you put yourself above your children, you're selfish. Or, for example, if you go back to work, it's still your responsibility to do all the housework as well. Or
everything, yes,
if you are not working, then every other responsibility is yours because you're not contributing financially. So they'll end up taking the burden of everything else. So
yes,
these societal conditionings, they make it impossible for you to really live a happy life because you're
yes,
always feeling like you're in a examination. And no matter what you do, some marks are always getting lost because you possibly can't do everything. And these women finally eventually get into depression, they get obese, they get means so many other things happen to them, but by that time it's too late for them to really move and really uh, that like those shadows I was telling you, those shadows become so big that it becomes
right.
very difficult to shake them. So it's better to do it faster rather than later, but still I think it's better late than never. So
I know. जब जागो तभी सवेरा.
exactly, like I work with my mom so much, now that I know that there are some things I can work with and there are some things I can't. And the best thing
Right.
I can do for her is to accept her the way she is, not insisting
Yes.
that she has to live life my way, from my awareness. No, you accept people in your life the way they are, you make peace with it. And that's part
Yes.
of conscious living too.
Yes.
It's not about
Absolutely.
changing people and, all the time. Sometimes it's just accepting them the way they are. That, okay, this is where they're at and honoring them for that.
Yes, you need to because I think there's another part to it, Alpa, which some women want to do something for themselves beyond the household boundaries, but there are some
Yeah.
women who are very happy also in
Yeah.
catering to the people in her family and bringing joy to their lives. Her
Yeah.
joy is other people's joy. and that is success to them.
And I
So
really think there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I don't judge somebody who chooses to stay at home.
no,
But in
not at
that
all.
role,
Yeah,
as long as they are honoring themselves and their needs as well, there's no harm in that.
yeah. End of the
Sometimes
day, they
women
should be
expect so,
happy.
yes. And sometimes I think women expect so little from life that उनको कुछ नहीं मिलता है ना तो उनको समझ भी नहीं आता कि उनको नहीं मिल रहा है क्योंकि
नहीं
कभी
मिल
आशा
रहा
ही
है.
नहीं थी you know
हाँ, exactly, exactly. That's true. So I think the only measurement around that is whether you are happy end of the day or not. If you are not, if end of the day you are frustrated and you're lost, then I think it's time to take a call and do something around it. But if you're
Yeah.
sleeping, a wholehearted sleep, a deep sleep, and waking up joyous and still catering to the needs of others, then that is your calling, I think.
I think you really cannot give from an empty cup. So if you are not taking care of filling your cup and giving from your overflow, at some point it will come back and catch up with you. So if you think just keeping other, like I have seen this, I've been in art of living for long enough. I've seen enough social workers, and so they burn out because not filling their own cup. So you have to fill your own cup, ensure that your needs are met, and give from your overflow, not from your own cup. So if you are playing that role, I believe, of just nurturing others, and if you feel like you're living a dual life, because sometimes you're just feeling, what is this यार सब कुछ मेरे को ही करना पड़ता है. Like अगर एक भी वो thought आ गया, it means you are living a dual life and you
Yes,
are not
yes,
giving from
true,
your overflow. Like being able to
true.
say, मेड्स नहीं है, लॉकडाउन है, तुम लोग बर्तन कर लो, मैं बहुत थक गई हूँ, I'm just going to sleep, and letting your house just do it without feeling guilty is
Yes,
okay.
it's
But
okay. It's
most
okay.
Indian families be like, हाँ देखो सो गई, तुम लोग बर्तन कर दो. So
So right, so true. Yeah, that is
just
what
be
happens.
unapologetic about being yourself.
Yes,
So I think that's
you need
important.
to
I think
be.
India has a lot to learn in that aspect.
Yes, so true. I mean, we have to come a long way, no doubt about it. Though we have come into the 21st century and, a
Yeah.
lot has changed, but still, I think this conditioning remains the same. And whether it's metropolitan or it's the small villages and towns, everywhere it's the same mentality.
I must share this with you, Anshu. When I was caught in victim consciousness at some point, हम लोग को ये लगता है कि यार rural areas में women are more, suppressed and all that. I remember we were watching this Amitabh Bachchan ka one show where he was talking about, I can't remember the name now, but he was talking about social causes. Isi ka naam zindagi or something. I can't remember. Amazing show it was.
Hmm.
And he was talking about this woman and who is spreading awareness to other women on education and all that. And she says, I think Amitabh Bachchan asked her कि तुम्हारी सास कुछ बोलती नहीं थी, तुम ऐसे ही निकल जाती थी. She said वो बोलती रहती थी, मैं अपना करती रहती थी. Now, even a rural woman, when she has that power ignited in her, has that
Right,
ability to understand I'm not giving into this bullshit conditioning. My cause is bigger and
right,
I'm going to go and do it. And
right.
very often I feel Indian women wait for, either their partners to pass or some other big life-threatening disease to happen before they change their lives.
Yes,
So I feel उधर पहुंचने से पहले ही अगर कुछ कर लो तो better है. Like why
better,
get
huh?
there and then make a life change. So अगर rural
Right.
India में कर सकते हैं लोग, and my husband looked at me and said, dude, what stops you, man? Why are you stuck in this web? Get out. And I suddenly struck me and said, yeah, like what excuse do I have? Being
Yeah.
educated, being financially independent. What is the excuse I have of living in a self-created cage?
Yes.
You know, so wake up to each one of you.
True. Yeah. So, Alpa, you have also had, I think, created 100 episodes on Saregama Karwa.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
be, really intrigued to know basically, what were those 100 episodes all about and why on Saregama Karwa?
It was so beautiful. It was very early in my coaching journey, and I've been always been the kind of person who has shown up as I am, and business has come to me. So it's, of course, I do have a team, and we do the work and everything. But initially, I was alone. I didn't really have a team when I started out. I was a solopreneur at that time. One of my school friends was seeing my videos live on FB, and whatever I was saying was resonating with her. Now, she was the head consultant at Saregama, and they were coming up with a new product of Saregama Karama, where they were creating original content on various topics. So she called me and she said, "Listen, will you create the whole life coaching channel? Because I love your stuff and I think people really resonate with what you have to share." Now, this was at a time when मुझे पता भी नहीं था कि like I had all the content, इतना spiritual ज्ञान सुना था, life experiences थे, but it was not in one place. It was just in my
Right.
mind. I just said yes. I didn't know how I'll do it. My kids were small. I just said yes. It it happened. There was a little like rocking the boat, which people don't do. They're like, oh, I can't rock the boat, but it happened. So I would, and I'm like, I think moms are very efficient. So I would go twice a week. I wrote all my scripts down. So 80, 100 scripts मैंने बैठ के लिखी on different topics like emotional health, mental health, meditation, how to take care of yourself, what are the different phases of change, how does fear affect you, how to become more confident, how to manage your energy, what is the role breath is playing. So whatever topics I felt strongly about, I put it down in forms of script. And I would just go, I would send them the scripts in advance. They would put it on a teleprompter. 3 or 4 hours, I would finish like 8 episodes and come back home before my daughter got home from
Amazing.
preschool. So I
Right.
think things just happen when you say yes to opportunities, and it was such a beautiful opportunity. And now people watch the videos, and I have like any topic you tell me you are facing, I have a video link to send because it's been recorded. You know,
Right.
so it was
Amazing.
just a
Amazing.
beautiful opportunity that came my way. It was not a paid assignment, but it was never about that anyway. It was just
It's,
about having that
I think,
knowledge.
yeah, absolutely. And getting that opportunity, going out into the world with your knowledge, showcasing that thing, and
Yeah,
who might hear that, and something might click inside them. You never know.
yeah. So I think I've just
Everything
been
cannot be.
lucky. Even now, I think even if I'm not there, people just show up. When you are magnetic and authentic, I believe in your work, people find you. And that's what I
Yes.
teach in my business pillars. Always start with self mastery, then shadow mastery, then intuitive marketing and intuitive leadership. So that is my arena. That's where I play. I don't teach you how to make 100 calls and get 10 people to revert and get 2 conversions. I really teach you how to show up more as yourself, be unapologetically yourself, and let that vibe attract your tribe. So I have people who are
Amazing.
following me for years, and whenever they are ready for the course, they'll just come in and they'll pay. They're like, I'm ready now, I want to do it. And they are welcome, because they know what I've been offering. I've been showing up consistently. They are ready, and it's happened. There's no stress or struggle, to get the clients. And when you work together, also, there's so much love and so much beauty in that relationship because it's
Yes,
not
absolutely.
like a sales or a manipulation. It's just pure love. So I really
Absolutely.
enjoy what I do so much. And even clients of mine who've been following the business way, when they understand this intuitive way of working, they become so much. And as women, I think we are meant to receive. We are the receivers, we're the receptacle. So it really is in our nature to wait and allow ourselves to receive. We're not best when we are in the masculine and trying to go and get the business. So I think it really aligns with our feminine energy to just embody that spirit and allow yourself to receive what is meant for you. And it will be given to you in the most beautiful way. Why do you have to go and, get everything and,
Fight
try
for
to do
it,
it
struggle
yourself?
for it. Yes.
Yeah. So I really enjoy this way. It
Amazing.
works
I
well.
love the word intuitive marketing. I really loved it actually.
So
So,
I teach that. It's, I think, been a game changer for my business and uh, for all my clients as well. Once you learn to do it that way, it's just a waste doing it in any other way. It's the longer route to success. Intuitive marketing is the fastest way.
yes, yes. Sounds
Yeah,
very, very interesting.
indeed.
S- Last question in this round, Alpa, is I think we have an amazing conversation going on, and this show is about limitlessness,
Yeah.
limitlessness of the human potential, of the human spirit, the whole universe being a part of us, and we being a part of the universe. And when you were sharing your fear that living a life of no purpose, so I also have a similar fear that what if I'm not able to utilize my or explore my complete potential? I'm limitless, and I
Yeah.
want to experience that complete limitlessness in every area of my life. So the
Wow.
Limitless show also stands for that. I want to be
मैंने नाम सुन
hale
के ही हाँ बोल
hearty.
दिया था.
This happens with most of my guests. They just love the concept itself. They are so much able to resonate with the concept that there is,
Absolutely.
and they just fall in love with it. So that's what has been happening since the time I started the show. And touchwood, I'm about to complete 1 year on the coming 16th of February, and it's
Wow.
been a,
So
yeah,
happy to hear that.
fabulous journey. Yeah.
More
So
power to you, Anshu. I just love it when people show up consistently and follow their life purpose. I think it's beautiful.
thank you. Thank you so much. Means a lot. My question to you is it's again the signature question of this show, that do you believe in that limitlessness of the human being, the human potential? And if yes, you do, then who according to you is limitless?
Wow. So, when in my business, the game really changed when I started playing the infinite game. It was not about कि ये conversion event चला कि नहीं या this live से पैसे आए कि नहीं. You know how people calculate their sales. I didn't care. I was showing up. I was sharing what I was doing. And the way the universe works is you give somewhere, it comes to you from somewhere else. It's
Somewhere
not, you
else.
cannot control it saying कि जहाँ मैं दे रही हूँ मुझे वहीं से आना चाहिए.
Exactly.
And when we do that, when we expect that from where we are giving, we should receive from there, we somewhere limit our receiving because there are so many doors open waiting for you to receive, but you don't see those doors because you want it only to come from that door, you
Yes.
know. So this limitless concept, no, I understood in my life that we are infinite beings. The universe has many ways of giving us, and we just need to be open to that. This operation from lack that we have कि ओ मेरे पास ये नहीं है मेरे पास वो नहीं है. And the more I worked with my own clients and even with my own life, I saw 98% सबका life ठीक ठाक ही होता है. 1-2% is bad, and what we do is we take that 1-2% and we blow it up, and we say our life is so bad. And then once we watch a show and we see people in tough times and we say, oh, what are we complaining about? But few seconds that awareness stays, and then we are back to normal complaining about this and that and the other.
Yes.
So when I've shifted this, to being limitless, not only in my business, even in my personal life, not expecting that मैं जहाँ दे रही हूँ मुझे वहीं से मिले, but really acting out of my own infiniteness, that I'm never going to run out of content. I'm never going to run out of love. I'm never going to run out of abundance and joy. I'm going to get it always multifold. So this has shifted, it's expanded me as a person. Earlier I used to be so stuck in my own victim consciousness about how life is and how people are behaving and, all of these concepts. And all those concepts have just blown apart because there's no right, wrong, there's no good, bad. People are where they are. There is a gracious acceptance of who they are. And that cannot happen unless there is a gracious acceptance of yourself. So it starts there. When I'm able to accept myself with all my flaws and say, I'm perfect the way I am, I'm good. I think the maximum judgment we do is of ourselves.
Yes, we
Oh,
do.
why did this event? It didn't work. Oh, I've done this show. People are not watching. So much judgment we have of
So much
ourselves.
judgment. Yes, yes.
So if you're able to drop that judgment in yourself, if you're able to love yourself, forgive yourself, then only can you give others. So once your cup is full, you're seeing people where they are, blessing them wherever they are. That gracious acceptance, Anshu, if I have to give you one word, that gracious acceptance of myself and the world has really given me so much peace. Gracious acceptance of your children the way they are, without expecting them to be in a particular way, of your
Yes.
parents, your in-laws, of your boss, of your colleagues, of your health, of your home, of your salary. Just gracious acceptance. And it's not that you don't work toward the better tomorrow, but you work from a space of It's all coming to you.
Acceptance. Yes.
There's an acceptance and there's a knowledge that it is all coming to you. There's
Yeah.
no lack, there's no doubt, because whatever you see the world as you are. You don't see the world as it is. So
Yes.
when you are a vibrational match for what you desire, you will get it.
Yes.
The fastest way to manifest what you want is to be a vibrational match for it. And we want abundance in our life, and then we go bargain hunting. कि सबसे सस्ता डील चाहिए, free webinar चाहिए. You want all that. फिर तुमको abundance चाहिए. So how do those two work together? They don't work together, right?
Right.
So vibrating
So
at that
true.
frequency to at
Yes.
what you desire, that's the fastest way to attract that into your life.
So true. And so beautifully put, Alpa. So
Thank you.
beautiful.
Mhm.
I just loved everything that you said. And it's
Thank you.
so
Thank you.
true.
Yes, indeed. And I think everybody who has reached that phase, no, it's funny. They say every unhappy family is different, but every happy family is the same. You're unhappy for different reasons, but when you reach that state of acceptance and you see the faces of these people, it has a similar joy, abundance, radiance, and you can know that, okay, this person has got it. There's a
Yes.
certain vibe, which you get it.
Right.
So, so blessed to
Beautiful.
have had this journey and so blessed to be able to share it.
Yeah,
So blessed.
absolutely. So, I mean, we have one more round, a very short round, 5-minute round,
Sure.
and we
Sure.
will now just quickly transition to that. It's the lightning bolt
Sure.
round, and I ask you questions which just require short answers, maybe one
Okay.
word, one liner, two liner.
Okay.
Okay. So, what's your favorite food, Alpa?
Ah, that's a tough one. I like I like Kathiawadi food, actually. I realize I like Kathiawadi food. Like the bengan bharta and the pork and the bajri ka rotla, that typical now at this age. Earlier I used to like the pastas and the pastries. Ab
Right.
jaake I value that food.
Amazing, amazing. Very nice. And do your kids eat that too?
Nope, they don't. Not yet. They are still in the pasta pizza mode. And I don't blame them. Yeah, they're kids finally. So
I know, I know. In
I'm
fact,
able to say
I
that.
taught how to eat pizza to my daughter. So I mean, I understand. I used to love
Yeah,
pizzas and she never used to, but then she later picked it up. So can't blame them.
absolutely.
Okay. Who's the person in your life who's inspired you the most in your life?
My guru, undoubtedly. I see him functioning at such levels and the kind of work he's capable of and the kind of machinery he's able to garner to do work is amazing. So he's been my biggest inspiration. Whenever am stuck, no, I think, Guruji kya karte? Like, would he, somebody actually asked him, I know it's a lightning bolt round, but I should share this with you.
Yeah,
Someone
sure.
told Guruji once, you are so lucky. You have all of us around you, all nice people. You come to our world, you realize कि कैसे लोग होते हैं actual में. And Guruji looks
Hmm.
at him and said, listen, I have created this world around me.
I
You go
know.
and create that world around you.
Around
You know.
you. So
So I think a lot
beautiful.
of that has inspired me all the time. Those lines I've heard, they keep coming back to me. So I'll say him.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. Whenever the mind actually starts on any complaint mode, you immediately get back to those lines and you're like, I'm the creator of
Yeah.
this whole thing.
Yeah.
So I can also create what I want.
Absolutely.
Right. Great. So, I mean, what was the best advice ever that you received in your life at any point of time that has, I mean, stayed with you?
Very recently, my coach told me, he said, the difficulty is in the resistance. So, we resist things, right? We say, oh, but so much bad has happened to me. How can I let it go? Now, there's a resistance to letting it go. And the difficulty is because there is a resistance. If you drop the resistance, it's actually all very easy. But that resistance is your creation. So that has been a big shift for me recently. When I realize that I'm resisting something, I'm like, why? So much energy is going in the resistance. So I think that recently that was the best advice I got. The difficulty is in the resistance.
Yes. Great.
Yeah.
And amazing. And I think they remain with us. Whatever are these best pieces, I mean, they remain with us. And whenever we are in some challenging situation, they keep coming back to us.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So true. Define Alpa in 2 lines.
Alpa is a seeker on this journey. She's complete in herself, and she's a woman who is conscious, a spiritual being, and living her life with purpose every day.
Perfect. What are the top 3 books that have made a big impact in your life and that you would suggest any day to anyone?
So one is The Power of Now. I just read that by Eckhart Tolle.
Eckhart
Beautiful,
Tolle.
beautiful book. So powerful that book is. The other one is Breaking the Habit of Being You by Joe Dispenza.
But Joe Dispenza
Again, a
is my
beautiful book.
favorite. Yes, yes, yes.
Amazing, amazing book.
Amazing.
And
Yeah.
the third I would say is Untamed by Glennon Doyle. It's such an honest narration of women, and I just love that book. It shifted. I mean, I'm a big reader, and so 3 books is really like it's all my books are like they're screaming how unfair can you be, because I pretty much read a book a week. I'm a big reader, have been all my life, so I've read too many
Right.
books, but these three I think I would recommend definitely. Atomic Habits is another one which is really wonderful.
Yeah, I'm reading that right now. Yes.
Yeah, it's a really wonderful book.
Yes, yes. Great. Wonderful. One last message that you want to leave all the audience who's watching you right now with.
I want to ask them a question that are you the driver of your life, or are you being driven around by circumstances, people, and situations in your life? Just become aware of this fact that are you really creating your life, or are you just resisting, reacting, aligning, and agreeing to things? Just this awareness you be with. You have the potential to create a beautiful life. What percentage of that potential are you using? Just a question. I'm a coach. I leave you with a question always. Think of that.
Wonderful, wonderful. You have left them thinking and let them actually, pick up, I mean, get into the corner of their houses, pick up a journal, and let them
Yes,
actually pen their thoughts and understand
absolutely.
where they are at.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Alpa. It was a very, very valuable and amazing, amazing session. I actually absolutely enjoyed. Just didn't want it to end, but yeah, the time has come when we need to,
Time has
say
passed
bye bye.
1 hour. I really didn't realize it, Anshu. Thank you. I think good conversations, time really does pass. And I've
Yes,
been a little, under the weather, so not been as loud, but not realized the time, not felt any strain, because soul conversations don't take any strain. So
they
thank you
don't.
so
They
much. It's
don't.
been an absolute honor and a great pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, and good night to you. Have a great night's rest.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye bye. Hey people, wasn't she amazing with so much of great insights and what transformation experiences and I think I was completely blown away. And week after week I would be coming back with such amazing guests just to keep you in the loop that 16th of February is 1 year of the Limitless show. I'm so happy to share that with you, and I'm bringing an amazing guest. I'll not disclose the name to you right now, but he is one famous personality, and he has been kind of, doing phenomenal work in the world for a long time. And I'll be bringing him on the 16th of February. So be with me week after week, and very soon it will be the 50th episode also on the 2nd of March. and again, one of my most favorite people I'll be bringing on the 2nd of March. So people, keep giving your love to this show and keep sharing it with all the people that you feel that who need to be, watching this show. And there's so much to learn. Be with us, and take care of yourself. Have a good night's rest. Have a great week ahead. God bless you. Be limitless.